I think the Patriots make sense. I think from a football perspective, the Cowboys make sense. CeCe pointed out to me, Marty Saurus Rex, as he calls himself, the black unicorn, has a bit of an issue with Jason Witten.
Yes.
The Cowboys unquestioned one of their leaders, so maybe the Cowboys from a personality standpoint doesn't make sense.
And if the football don't work out, because he made an announcement to the Packers he wasn't going to play after this season. Martellus, I'm giving you and your family an open invitation. You can join this show. Forget football, man. You're done with that. Come here and join us. Now, he's got some real good stuff going on. He's got an animated company that he works with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a really bright future beyond football. So I'd love to have him here.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Tell me how this works. You can leave the Patriots. They didn't want you anymore. They released you, and then he'd be okay to go back. If you left the Eagles the way you left, and then a year later they're like, you know what, we'll take you back.
He was a free agent.
Yeah, he signed a one-year contract.
But they could have signed him.
They could have signed him, but the Packers gave him 3 years, $21 million,
He just went.
$8 million guaranteed. Like the Patriots.
That's what he
weren't
got
gonna
with the
spend.
Packers was $21 million.
That's what I'm talking about. If I said the Patriots, I meant the Packers. The Packers
Yes.
gave him a 3-year, $21 million deal
Yes.
with $8 million guaranteed. Patriots already have a lot of money tied up in Gronk. The Patriots are big on come here for a season, maybe build up your value, then go get paid elsewhere. And I think I think the primary reason Martellus Bennett signed with the Packers was to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
He just played with Tom Brady. Now I'll play with Aaron Rodgers. Once Aaron Rodgers goes down, I think the question is, what am I doing here?
And New England has done this with LeGarrette Blount before. He was a player for them, did really well, went away, ended up coming back.
And led the league in rushing.
We also, when we were trying to negotiate with you, we used Martellus's contract structure for you. 3 years, $21 million, guaranteed. I mean, let America know. That's how we had to grab you. So that's the reason why. You came over here, the same reason why he did. It's all about the Benjamin.
For $21
and
million.
not buttons.
I will create this bone broth for you every single morning. I will find bones to broth for you, okay, for $21 million. Moving on to a more serious topic, some legal issues in the NFL. Jerry Jones is reportedly threatening to sue the league if Commissioner Roger Goodell gets approved for a contract extension. Jones has issues with the way Goodell has handled the players' protests during the anthem and the on-again, off-again suspension of his star running back, Ezekiel Elliott. I will start with you, CeCe. I can't imagine you've seen anything like this in your years and years of covering, being a part of, working with the NFL. What was your reaction to the Goodell-Jones feud?
Well, there have been owners that weren't happy with who the commissioner was at the time or not happy with what the commissioner does. Just so the public knows that the commissioner actually works for the 32 owners. Like, he doesn't actually, the NFL is the 32 owners, and the commissioner runs the league. So Roger has been the bad guy when they wanted the concussions, they wanted to change that. Roger was the forefront of that. The domestic violence, when they changed that, Roger was at the forefront of that. The new TV deal, the reason why Jerry Jones is a billionaire is not because of himself. It's because of Roger Goodell and what he's done in building the National Football League. To me, it's just kind of strange because Jerry has always had a big personality. But last year, Jerry was up for the Hall of Fame. I wonder would Jerry be acting the same way if he was up for the Hall of Fame? Because I remember last year, I got a nice gift. All the guys in the Hall of Fame, people in the NFL. Jerry was being extra nice last year to everyone. Why? Because he was trying to get into the Hall of Fame. Now he's in the Hall of Fame. So imagine that same ego now being a Hall of Famer, his star running back being suspended, and he thinks that Rodgers taking out some vendetta on him and Zeke because of what happened with Ray Rice 3 years ago. Like, it's idiotic. But for Jerry, I'm not surprised. But it's not going to happen. Rodgers' overall popularity. And Jerry, it's kind of the same mentality that Jerry has with his players. But because he thinks the players work for him. He thinks Roger works for him, but Roger actually works for the league in conjunction with trying to help the Cowboys put the best product on the field. So ego is a tremendous thing. And Jerry Jones is no one that has a bigger ego than he does. I do not think that he'll be successful in that.
Go ahead.
Just a quick question. Yeah. Is this more about Ezekiel Elliott or more about the anthem?
No. This is about Zeke. Now, Jerry has strong feelings on the players who are protesting during the national anthem. Jerry also, he has made it clear what he expects Cowboys players to do. But this is about Ezekiel Elliott. Like, that is the flashpoint for Jerry Jones. A few notes here that I want to point out. One, no matter what you as a football fan, think of Roger Goodell. This would be really bad for the sport and for the league if Jerry Jones gains any traction with this, or if Jerry Jones is successful in this. Because you can't, I understand the Cowboys are the league's most popular team, they're the most discussed team, they're the most polarizing team. They cannot be disproportionately so the most powerful team. No matter what you think of Goodell, I do not think people believe he is tipping his finger on the scales when it comes to the competitive nature of the sport. If anything else, he seems to hold some of the stars and star franchises to a higher standard.
Yes.
We saw Tom Brady go through that.
Yep.
We're now seeing Ezekiel Elliott go through that. Now, I don't know if you're holding Zeke to a higher standard or the regular standard, but regardless, finger on the scales when it comes to the competitive nature of the sport. If anything else, he seems to hold some of the stars and star franchises to a higher standard.
Yes.
We saw Tom Brady go through that.
Yep.
We're now seeing Ezekiel Elliott go through that. Now, I don't know if you're holding Zeke to a higher standard or the regular standard, but regardless, he is not playing favorites amongst the teams. And if Jerry Jones, who already has outsized influence, if this were to be successful, it would be the Cowboys league. And that's not right. That's not good for fans in Kansas City or in Jacksonville or in Houston or in Los Angeles. Like, we don't want that to happen. Right now, CC, tell me if I'm wrong, there's about 6 owners that they are kind of the upper crust of ownership.
Yes, there's always been a group that was that led the NFL, and they gave a lot of information and had influence on the other owners.
It's the Hunt family.
Yes.
It's Jerry Jones. It's the Maras. It's Kraft.
Yes.
It's Bob McNair seems to have elevated himself within it. The Rooneys, like that's
Yes.
those 6 teams and those 6 owners. I'm okay with that because you always need kind of a power structure. I'm not okay with one team or one owner being at the top of the class. But my final point on this one, CC, I'm curious your thoughts on it. When it comes to the players protesting, what I find so, I think ironic's the right word here, is the most vocal critics of Goodell in the media. The one thing he's done that those people have been the most congratulatory about is how he's handled the protests. That he has not tried to rule it with an iron fist. That he has tried to say, while I don't agree with it, we're not going to all of a sudden outlaw it.
Didn't he say, I will not play anyone that decides
No, I'm
to
Goodell.
Oh, Goodell.
Goodell. If I did, I apologize. The biggest critics of Goodell.
Absolutely right.
Yes. And so, but this is a reminder for the people who have been big critics of Goodell, myself being one of those people. He was never working for us. He was never working for the players. He was never working for the sport as a whole. He's working for those owners. And the things that the thing that the media applauded him for the most is the thing that his bosses, really disliked the most. The bosses were okay with a lot of the things the media criticized him for, but not putting an end to the protests, not ruling with an iron fist on the protests, that is the reason why, even if Zeke is the impetus for this, that Jerry thinks he can rally other support, because a lot of owners are not happy that players are still protesting. If that makes sense.
It just struck me as, I thought it was 90% Zeke and maybe like 10% with the anthem stuff. And I just don't recall ever hearing Robert Kraft make a big complaint that he was going to threaten or talk about or make a big deal to anyone other than just public comments about trying to defend Tom Brady. He took it, let him have the suspension, and they moved on. And this just feels very, I'm going to take my game and I'm going home. Oh, no, it can't. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. And it just feels very, you're right, it would be very bad for the NFL if this moved forward.
My conversation with Robert Kraft was, I'm getting ready to prove you guys wrong. You guys thought we were cheating. I'm getting ready to show you. Now you changed the rules. Watch how we continue to win. So he's driven by what Roger did to try to make it without a doubt. They are the greatest franchise the NFL has ever. And those were his words. He said, Chris, I'm addicted to winning. And so going through that, his reaction was totally different than Jerry's reaction.
And lastly on this, Jerry Jones I give the man credit. He had a business. He made a huge bet on the Dallas Cowboys. He wasn't a guy that had he didn't have multiple billions of dollars.
He risked it all.
He risked it all, buying the Dallas Cowboys, putting in it, and now he's one of the faces of the NFL. But Jerry Jones cannot and is not the face of the NFL. And I feel like we talk about Jerry more than every other owner combined by a factor of about 10. And now going the potential Al Davis route, of I'm going to sue the league, I'm going to sue this, I'm going to sue that. That, in my eyes, no matter what you think of Roger Goodell,
modern day Al Davis.
Not a good look.
Coming up, why the race for the 1 seed means what that means for the Patriots, and it means a lot.
More than ever.